How does space influence king safety in chess? Have you ever wondered how the space on the chessboard can affect the safety of your king? Let's break it down in a way that makes sense. Space in chess refers to how much control a player has over squares on the board, especially in the center. This control plays a significant role in keeping your king safe. First, let's talk about the center. Controlling the center is a key principle in chess. When you have more space in the center, it becomes harder for your opponent to bring their pieces toward your king. This control acts like a protective barrier, making it difficult for enemy pieces to reach your king without facing a counterattack. Now, where should your king be? In the early game, having your king in the center can be risky. Open lines and diagonals can expose it to threats from various angles. That's why castling is important. It moves your king to the side of the board, where it is generally safer. If your pawns and pieces control the central squares, they limit your opponent's access to your king. Speaking of pawns, they play a vital role in defining space on the board. When your pawns are advanced and control more squares, they restrict your opponent's pieces from entering key attacking squares near your king. However, if you push your pawns too far without support from your pieces, you create weaknesses. A solid pawn structure is essential for protecting your king while controlling space. Next, let's consider piece activity. When you have more space, your pieces can move freely and coordinate better. This increased activity helps you defend your king and launch counter-threats against your opponent. If you are cramped for space, your pieces struggle to find good squares, making it harder to protect your king effectively. It is also important to avoid overextending your pawns. While gaining space is usually good, pushing your pawns too far can create targets for your opponent. The goal is to balance gaining space with keeping your king safe. Only push pawns in front of your king if your pieces are well placed to cover any resulting weaknesses. In summary, space influences king safety by controlling the area around the king, limiting enemy piece activity, and allowing your pieces to defend effectively. Proper use of space involves controlling the center, castling early, maintaining a solid pawn shield, and ensuring your pieces have enough room to operate. Neglecting space can leave your king vulnerable to attacks, especially if the center opens up too soon or if your pawn structure becomes weak.